Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Beauty and Difference podcast, where I share the stories of individuals who have learned to not just accept, but celebrate their difference in hopes that we all can too. Today, I am here with Alexandra, and she is going to share her story with us. So, Alexandra, you can go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, definitely. Hi. I'm so glad to be on your podcast. So, I'm Alex and I was born with spina bifida. I've been a wheelchair user since I was 3 years old. And, it comes with, I'm paralyzed from the knees down. So I can't use my legs at all, can't walk. And I think from day one, my parents knew life would be different for me. And I've also been dancing since I was 5. So my mom got me into dance classes with the Dancing Wheel School and Company, and they got me into also recreational programs with Youth Challenge at a really young age when I was 3 years old. So at a really young age, I was very immersed in the disability community and having friends with disabilities so that's pretty much my background. Oh, and also I with dancing, I started competing with Miss Wheelchair Ohio, and my platform is all about the therapeutic benefits of dance. So dancing through disability, that's my thing, and I love dance so much. It literally saved my life.
Wait, so tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about the therapeutic benefits and what you've come to find and about your initiative.
Yeah, so it's I've just found that it's so therapeutic not only for people with disabilities, people who are able-bodied, everybody. They can benefit from dancing, and it's not only good physically and like for your heart, for your body, it's wonderful for your mental health and to just like so for me, dancing is literally my therapy, and it's helped me through wild depressions. It's just helps me get my emotions out into my body. So uh, in 2020, I had a emergency surgery that really left me in a very dark place, in a very bad depression. And the only thing that really kept me alive was to think about dance and to think about my next thing that I wanted to choreograph and my next dance class because I was essentially, I don't like this word, but bed bound. I couldn't get up. I was healing from this wound that I had and I couldn't move for months. So the only thing that really kept me going was, I'm going to dance. I'm going to dance. Dancing was like this one thing that kept me going. So that really launched me into my dancing through disability of teaching everybody that dance is so beneficial for your health in multiple ways.
I love that so much. There are so many outlets that some of us don't realize are outlets physically, emotionally, whatever it is that you need. We sometimes don't even realize. So I love that you found that and now you're sharing that with others. Um,
Yeah.
my second question for you is in a world that often puts differences into a box and tells us that because you have this difference, this is how you should walk, talk, sound, and live your life. How did you learn to celebrate your difference rather than hide it?
Yeah, so I did touch on this a little bit with my other answer, but my parents, like from day one, they knew that I needed a community behind me with my disability. My mom, she just knew that I could do anything that I wanted from day one. She instilled that in me of like, you want to pursue dancing, go for it. You want to pursue sports, go for it. You want to go on Broadway, do it. And with the Dancing Wheel School and Company, I was surrounded by wheelchair users who I looked up to and who I could see that they were pursuing their dreams. And so I knew that I didn't have to hide who I was and I didn't have to hide my wheelchair, although that would be very hard for me. I do have to admit. So I think that I kind of knew that I couldn't hide my disability and be like I shy away because I use a wheelchair. So I just learned to embrace it at a very young age.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful thing that you destigmatized it by just living. You didn't you were never told that you had to fit into a certain identity, that you just lived your life and your parents instilled that in you, and you had a great support system and a great community. So
Yeah.
anyone who is watching, if you're going through a similar situation, find a community of people that you relate to and that you look up to and want to um, form relationships with. And I agree with you. That's how I was with my birthmark. I found the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation, and those people continue to inspire me. And now we all inspire each other. So I think that finding a community is the best way to do it. And I agree,
Hmm.
sometimes you can't hide a difference no matter what it is. But but by hide, I mean like not talk about it. Like people tell us to just live the way that we are, and that's not something it's
Yeah.
not something we should be proud of. That's what I'm really trying to say, is that it's
Hmm.
something that we live with, and that's that, rather than,
Hmm.
yeah, I do live with this and I'm going to celebrate it and all of you are going to know about it.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah.
was taught from day one to celebrate who I am, and the founder of the Dancing with School and Company actually has the same disability as me, so that was very much like I could be the founder of a nonprofit. Like, oh my gosh, I could do all these things. And because we have although not saying that everyone with the same disability is exactly the same, we're all different, you know? So, but it was definitely a launching pad of I could pursue my dreams.
I completely agree with you. When things are visible and you bring visibility to something and you see someone in that role, you allow yourself to recognize that, oh, I can do that too. Because again, I relate to you in so many different ways. I was the same way. I wasn't sure that I could ever be the face of anything because of my facial birthmark. I was like,
Hmm.
as soon as people like see pictures of me or like see the scarring like, on my face, they're just gonna be like, I don't know about her being on the cover. That's and the reason I thought
Yeah.
that is because I didn't see anyone like me like that.
Hmm.
And then as I
Yeah.
got older, I was like, you know what? If no one else is going to do it for me, I got to do it for me and for everyone to come. So I agree with
Definitely.
you. Thank you. I agree with you there completely, that when you see someone in the role, it allows you to recognize, hey, I can do this. So thank you
Hmm.
for sharing that. My
Yeah.
last question for you is, if there is someone watching who has a similar history to you or is going through something similar, what would your biggest piece of advice be for them? We probably already touched on it, but if you have anything else you could say to them, what would you
Yeah.
say?
I mean, definitely finding your community. And I know in some states, in some areas, it is really hard to find your disability community in person. I think a very vital part of the disability community is online friendships and finding people who you do, YouTube channels or Instagram. I think the internet is such an amazing tool for people with disabilities to find your people and to, find friends online and see people who look like you. So I just think, yeah, finding your community is good, even if you have to go online to find them. And also, don't compare yourself, I think is a good piece of advice as well. If you are going through a bad time, if you have a bad, uh, words, what am I trying to say? A bad health day, I guess. Just to like give yourself grace and don't say, oh, that person has my disability and they're pursuing the dream, so I should be able to do that. Like everyone is different, Give yourself grace and don't compare yourself.
Yes, I completely agree. You have to find that balance of, oh, I relate to these people. How cool is this? But not comparing yourself, because I have fallen into those days. And that's
Hmm.
actually a piece of advice I needed to hear right now
Oh, I'm
because
glad.
thank you. Because I often wonder, like, am I getting treatment enough on my birthmark? Because truly, I don't know. I haven't had
Mm.
treatment since I was a sophomore in high school. I've had
Oh,
12
wow.
surgeries on it, but I haven't had
Mm.
treatment in a long time, just because I've been in school and I have to go to New York to get treatment. And then a bunch of things
Uh,
happened with changing of doctors. And some doctors say,
hmm.
you're not having symptoms. Why do you need treatment? And then others are saying, you should always have treatment, preventative treatment. So,
Goodness.
right, my head is just like, well, this person's getting treatment. Well, this person's not. And it's
Hmm.
all over the place. So that's something I needed to hear and I appreciate. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Of
Anything
course.
else you would want to share with anyone watching today?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm so happy to be on this podcast, and I'm glad you're bringing attention to people's differences. I think it's a really important conversation that we need to have. And if you're talking to one person with a disability, you're talking to one person. So it's like we all need to have these conversations of our differences and have different people talking and just share different experiences. And I think that's so important.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that I met you, and like
Me
exactly like you
too.
said, we found each other online on social media, and we don't have the
Mhm.
same exact difference, but we relate in more ways than we would have ever imagined. Like when
Yeah.
we that is one of the most amazing things to me is that we can look at each other and be like, like on the outside, we may not have the same features. We may not have the same abilities, disabilities, whatever it may be. But
Hmm.
then we really get to know each other. We break things apart and we're like, holy crap, like look at how similar we actually are. So
Yeah, we're more the same than we think.
yes, and that's what I just think that that is so beautiful about this and about everything that me and you are advocating for and doing in this like by highlighting people's differences is like, hey, look, we may be different in some ways, but look how similar we are in other ways. So
Totally.
I just love it. I thank you so much for taking the time to come on this podcast with me today. I'm sure we will stay in touch. Alexandra's story just goes to show the true beauty and difference. And when I say that, I mean it. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.